have been into tech for almost 10 years. And before that, it was more on a personal front when I got my first computer in around seventh class, I think, sixth or seventh class. And from there, I started my journey into just breaking things and getting them fixed so that when my father comes home in the evening, I don't get a scolding. So if I used to break something on my computer, I had to fix it no matter what. That is where the journey began. Then, when I got into engineering, I wanted to do robotics, ironically, which is the main use case of AI for the future, but never got to learn even the R of it other than the personal projects that I used to do. But again, the interest in computers continued. And along that journey, it was my first job wherein, I realized that I want to get back into building things. I'd built a ton of projects. And today I'm here with a good amount or decent amount of experience into having the fortunate, I would say, time of getting the opportunity to build everything from scratch for all these companies that I have worked with, right from a healthcare startup wherein I used to even stand behind a doctor to see how they are using my software to enter prescriptions, or get on an early morning bike ride with a sample collector guy to see how the patient will use my app, to coding ninjas where I was amongst the first 5 7 set of people, and every new product beyond a certain point of time that came in went through me, and we scaled the company, we raised funds. And then, obviously, very close to my heart is GDG New Delhi, because that is where Communal and Exa Protocol, the opportunities for them came along. But what is AI? Let's go back maybe, more than half a century. In 1950, Alan Turing published the first paper, which was called as Computer and Machine Learning Intelligence. Now, the term AI or artificial intelligence did not exist till then. So he just proposed it, and it had something very interesting called the imitation game, wherein what if the machines could imitate humans, and can the machines think by themselves? Then came 1952, not so far away from there. A computer scientist called Arthur Samuel developed a program wherein the program could play checkers and learn from that game independently. Still, the term artificial intelligence was not coined. It was in 1955 when a person called John McCarthy, held a workshop which was topic on artificial intelligence. And it was essentially the first ever recorded use of the word artificial intelligence. And since then, I guess somewhere around 1980, 1979, to be specific, the Association for Advancement of Artificial Intelligence, you can say triple AI, was formed. And today we are here wherein, AI is everywhere. I hope everyone has seen that video of Sundar Pichai at I/O, wherein people compile data and, just put it in a reel. AI, 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 the term, how many times it was used. So I guess I'll be using it more than he used at that point of time today in this class. Now, this is very interesting. So I was watching a video by MIT corporate YouTube channel, wherein he says artificial intelligence is not intelligent by itself, but it can act very intelligently. You might be thinking, what is the relation of all this? Why am I telling you all of this? Artificial intelligence is as intelligent as you can give the correct input to it. If you tell what to do very specifically, it will do it will do that thing very specifically, correctly. So it's not intelligent right now, almost in all cases, by itself, unless I train it to act intelligently. And obviously, that makes it very, very useful. You can see all the use cases wherein people are creating, all the automations of marketing or digital marketing, keyword researcher tools, and all of that. But this is a very, interesting take, uh, which almost everyone has said. What was the base formation of AI? Everyone wanted that here is a machine, here is a computer, or here is any form of a machine. Can it replicate how humans act, or can it replicate my intelligence? Now, what is my intelligence built of? My intelligence is built of a lot of experiences. So when I build an AI tool or anything related to which is a machine and automatically acts, I will have my own biases also. In a lot of cases, artificial intelligence will think by default, while addressing a use case, that it is a male or a female, depending on the use case. So there are a lot of biases also, because again, humans are training them. But let's, go back in time a little bit. How many of you were born in maybe 1990s? Okay, I'm waiting for chat, so I'll keep looking at it. If you were born in 1990s, I am sure you would remember some of these movies. Are you able to recognize? These were all cases of, artificial intelligence, machines acting like humans. If you remember the Matrix, there was a machine world separately which had taken over the human world. Then, obviously, the Terminator. I will be back, and I am back. I Robot was a very interesting, very, very interesting movie to see. And, probably we are very close to reaching that, which brings to another factor which we or you might, study later, is having that responsibility or creating responsible AI. And then obviously there is Wall-E, there is Transcendence, and a ton of other movies where you would have seen that machines are competing with humans or machines are taking over humans. Mostly that is the narrative that is displayed. And then machines collaborating with humans to fight against machines itself. But if I look at it, what is at the core of artificial intelligence? There is this term we might be hearing as non-techies and even as techies, LLM, large language models. Now, language models, you can say that you are having a computer program to which you feed a lot of text, articles, books, papers, everything that you might be learning in your degree. I saw that some people are, doing their education right now. And even professionals who might be reading a lot of papers or content online or social media posts, everything, you feed it to that program, and then it understands it. It creates relations and patterns amongst this. Okay, these are the two people who might be working at the same company, or these two articles talk about the same topic. One is having this perspective on it, one is having the other perspective on it. It will learn both the perspectives. It will not probably have its own bias until and unless I train it to. So the large language model is trained on a lot of content, wherein it learns from that content, understands it, and that's it. You know, that's it. That is just a model. That is why it is called as a model, right? It is not capable of anything till we attach it to something which takes an action. It's just a program with a lot of data, with a lot of learning, and it is creating all those relations. So, if I just take one more minute on this, think of it from your childhood, how your brain has been developing. There are certain things which you have learned from school education. There are certain things that you've learned from people around. And maybe, when you are amongst, one thing that we see is when we go to another country, a lot of times we adopt to their accent, either in terms of speaking and definitely in terms of understanding what they're speaking if their accent is different, right? That is creating patterns in our brain. Okay, when I'm here, people are speaking this way. Maybe I should also speak to get adapted or included or to make myself understood better, and vice versa. Similarly, AI is also a brain. LLM is a brain which has a lot of data. The benefit over humans is that it can access that data immediately, faster, and most of the times it never forgets because our memory might be volatile. If we do not revise, we forget. But it's a computer program. Now, have you heard of these? I'm sure, GPT-4, GPT-3, Claude, Gemini, Llama, all these are different LLMs, which basically are using a transformer called neural network. Neural network is converting that information into a network of patterns wherein people are able to, not people, computer programs are able to understand what is being written or taught or said in that particular text. Right? It can recognize patterns, it can understand context. What is this article about? What is this book about? And it can predict words or sentences also. So when you see that you're talking to ChatGPT, you are basically getting a response wherein it speaks English. It writes English for you, right? So it can predict words, it can think about it. If you give it a fill in the blanks, it'll probably fill it. But one major drawback is that LLMs are frozen in time. Whenever you see that GPT-4 has come out, okay, uh, let me re-emphasize. So whenever you say that GPT-4 has come out, or GPT-3 has come out, or Gemini new model has come up, what happens is there is a ton of data. Let's say I collect 100 books, 500 websites, and 5,000 articles, and give it to a computer program, which we call as an LLM. It will learn from it, but it won't learn from all the hundreds of thousands of other new articles which are created after that. Okay. What happens after this is that when this version is released, it is having only that much information. It is frozen in time. It doesn't understand beyond that. So every time a new version has come up, it has new learnings, new information. So it is frozen in time at that point of time, LLM. So you can consider it right now as a box, a magic box, which has a memory and which has a logic built in with itself. And the logic is basically constantly in touch with the memory, and it has rearranged everything so that it can access it fast and answer questions. But today we are going to build agents. So what are agents? Everything right now that you're using when you're chatting online with Perplexity, with ChatGPT or anything, it is an agent. Now, an agent understands the environment. Okay, I'm a chat agent, I'm a voice agent, I'm a customer support agent. It can make decisions if it is given the power to. You would have heard about the term MCP recently, but we'll not go there right now. It can basically take that action also, and it can keep on learning and relearning from if we give it some extra context to learn from. For example, it is basically an LLM which is frozen in time. I'm giving it 10 new articles, and that will also be added to its dictionary till the point of time it can access them. The moment you delete those articles from that external memory that you've given that, its learning will go back to what earlier it learned. So I hope everyone has watched the movie Gajini. You know, you can say there was a term used as short-term memory loss. So it is similar to that. You have to give it extra memory with some database for it to be able to interact with that database. And how much do you want it to remember? If you tell it that I want you to remember only for the past 5 messages, on the sixth message, it will forget the first message. By the 10th message, it would have forgotten the first 5 messages. And an agent is not a multitasker. It is highly goal oriented with special skills. So the word agent fits in, right? Uh, it's an agent. Now, what are agents in terms of combined action? Consider a group of agents as a team in which every member has a specific task. So these are different arrangements. I won't go into depth into these because again, that would be a little bit too complicated right now. But you can see these are different arrangements of different agents, wherein there is an LLM which is interacting with multiple tools. For example, GPT is an LLM on which multiple different tools, including ChatGPT, might be built up. There might be multiple agents interacting with each other. So you can say if you have a team, multiple teammates interacting with each other, one is a designer only for static websites, one is a designer only for your dashboards, one is a developer for backend, one is a developer for front end, and so on. And agents can also be, grouped into being supervisors, which is the model that we are going to do today, and then agents underneath it. So supervisor decides which agent should I call, which agent will answer this query, or by understanding the context or understanding what the user is asking for, it will call the right teammate, or the person who is the subsidiary or reporting to person is the agent over here. Okay, and then there are as many, arrangements possible for each of these. So what will we do is we will create something which is a group of agents which will read a resume, understand the context, find mistakes, and find some opportunities for us using that. Now, this is going to be in context of this webinar, we will be working on it completely from end to end. But these agents will be something that you can keep on improving and making them better. And probably, you could release your own career navigator agent tomorrow and sell it off to individuals or companies which are into hiring domain. And maybe, even Saras AI's placement department in future, if it comes up or if it already exists, can take use of it. Okay. So, are we ready to get into the coding zone? Not the coding zone, but NA10 zone, drag and drop? Yes. Okay. So, have you set up NA10? If I may ask everyone?
Yeah, they have the typing, yes.
Okay. Great. Great. Cool. So, I will just go to NA10 and showcase to you what we are building today. And I have my NA10 screen over here. So, I might be looking at you and then looking into the other screen. So, don't worry. I have my eyes on the chat. All right. So, I hope you can see my screen and the right one. Uh, are you able to see all these resume reviewer text, career navigator text, and all of these things? Okay,
Yes, we
great.
can see that.
Yes, Kenneth says he is able to. Great. Thank you. So this is what we are going to build today. Now, me being a developer, I've already exhausted my free trial of NA10. So they have this open source edition wherein set it up on my system. So I've done that, but don't worry, it is no different from what you might have. NA10 basically is having both versions free of cost if you want to log into their website and use for 15 days or 14 days, 2 weeks essentially. And then post that you have to pay because it is running on their cloud. And otherwise, you can always download the open source version with a couple of commands and start running it for free on your system itself. And that is unlimited free. Okay. So, okay. For people who have not set it up, just a quick uh, glance into what they do. So this is the website. You just have to click on Get Started and it will take you from there, right? There is a Get Started for free. Better to click here if you've not set up your account. But I'm assuming that everyone has set up their account, so we'll not spend time on setting the account over here on this. I'll get back to this. Okay, so if I go to the Career Navigator agent, this is what it does. I have to choose a file. Now, this is one of my students' resumes. I have submitted it. Now it is uploading it. And finally, I can chat with the agent over here. Now, how and what will the chat answer? I guess you'll have to complete this thing alongside with me. Okay. You can essentially chat. If I just type in hi right now, you will get a basic response. So we'll look at how it works. Okay. But we'll first set up a very basic version of it so that we all are on the same page. All right. So I hope everyone who has set up would be seeing an empty screen and there is a button called Create Workflow. Now it's essentially a drag and drop editor wherein you can create any workflows, and we'll call it as Career Navigator Live. Okay. I have just clicked here and changed the name. In fact, let it be like this. Now comes the first step. Okay. If you've not set up, this is the time. It will take barely less than 2 minutes to set it up. So please do that. And we are doing the basic steps, and we are going to repeat those steps also when we build the advanced version of it, wherein we are able to upload the resume. Yes, you have to fill that survey. They are offering the product for free. So you'll have to add some information. Okay. So if I add the first step, what is the first step? When you have to interact with an agent, the first step has to be something related to the input that you will be giving them. So let's say I want to chat with the agent. So I will set the first step as on chat. Now there is an option, if you see, make this chat available publicly. You can do that. It will give you a URL. Probably this is on localhost, but you need not do that if you've set it up on their website. We do not need to do anything. Just do this here. Now, if you click on open chat, you can say that, see that the chat is available. However, it will not do anything because right now there is not a brain, no brain attached to it. So you can see, think of it as you have a Bluetooth speaker, but you have not paired it with any phone or any laptop or device which streams that music. So that speaker is of no use, right? A speaker with a mic, but without a device which it is paired with. Now let's do the next step. I'll close this for now. Let's add a brain. The brain is AI, this scary looking robot. I don't know if everyone finds it scary, but yes, you will see that if you click on, okay, let me just do that again. You have this plus icon and you can click on it. There is AI over here. You have different options for this. You can see there is an OpenAI directly. This is a basic LLM chain, Q&A chain. You can create a chain wherein you can always keep on asking questions. It will answer, then next question, then answer. Sentiment analysis, and the possibilities are infinite. The reason why N8N is very useful is because of all these options and which keep on adding up that it gives. So now let's click on AI agent. Now let's understand this. There are certain parameters. It says source for prompt, connected chat trigger node. So when I say source for prompt should be connected chat trigger node, it is by default. Or I could say define below what would be the prompt. Ideally, I want whatever the user chats with the chatting node is the prompt that I should be giving. And this is a variable that is by default already defined, and it is called as chat input. You need not understand this right now. When we go into advanced level or when you learn further, explore further, you'll easily get to it. This is just the data that is coming into input, and it is assigned to a key and a value like a dictionary for now. Okay. So let's probably look at this and we need to rename this. Now, one of the very, interesting parts is whatever your AI does or agent does, you need to put that name. You can see that we discussed LLMs. It is all based on text. So going by that, if you create a big workflow, or even if you are interacting with an agent or multiple agents are interacting with each other, the names are going to be important. In real world, we are not all named as humans or Homo sapiens, right? I was not addressed to by Khushi as I have human on my human who is going to take the discussion today, or the code lab or the hands-on session, and vice versa, right? So we need to give it a name. Let's call it as uh, our career advisor agent. I have renamed it. Now, one more interesting thing is I need to give it some prompt also.